Good morning, guys. Okay, it's Monday, the 12th of November. So, first live trade of the week. Let me actually just bring it up. First trade of the week. We are on the FTSE 100. I've just been triggered into a long position. I'm basically straight out of the gates. So we opened at ATM. Sorry, that's 7.55. We opened at ATM. We pulled back into 7146, which was a key level of support. We put in this bullish candle. I'm looking at it as a type of pin bar, although there is a fair amount of rejection up at the top, which I didn't really want to see, but it's still valid, so I'm more than happy to get into the trade. So as always, with the live trade, what I'm going to do is kind of talk you through the analysis behind the trade. And then as the trade continues to run, I will talk you through anything that I'm looking at. If I'm making any decisions, any trade management, I'm going to try and explain to you why I'm doing what I'm doing. And then if it wins, if it loses, we'll just follow the trade through to its conclusion. So with this trade, just came into the start of the week. Now basically, let me try and bring this up. Basically, the market has been putting in a little bit of a squeeze. Now on Friday, we had a strong move down. We found support at this sloping support level. Now coming into the start of today, we were sitting just up above this sloping resistance level. So what I was looking at is potentially we're seeing the start of a break of this level. If we've seen pullbacks coming into the start of the day, they became good to look for bullish bounces. So, start of the day, we get the pullback, we test at that sloping support, we test at that zone underneath. We started to find support at ATM, so I was happy to get into this long position. I'm hoping we're going to see a move up into at least this zone up above, which is sitting at around about 7175, and potentially a little bit higher, potentially 7185 up toward that round number 7200. A little bit overextended coming into the start of the day, being up so much already. However, we've got that sloping support level, we've got that zone underneath, which is a key level of support. We've tested both of them. So when you see that sort of thing, it just becomes this process of trying to stop overthinking your position. Now, on top of that, coming into today, you know those days where you sort of wake up and you're feeling a little bit tired? That's kind of one of those days for me today. And it got me thinking when I was actually sitting down at the charts, because it's one of the most common things I hear from people who are learning to trade. Sometimes it's students, sometimes it's just people who email me looking for a little bit of advice, sometimes it's just comments on the videos. A lot of the time, when they do a huge amount of damage to their trading account, it's because they are tired, maybe they're just not feeling the best, maybe they were out late the previous night, and they just sort of woke up and they were thinking, you know what, I really can't be bothered, but I need to do this anyway. Trading is something, it's not like when you go to an office. You know, if you just work for someone and it's in an office, you can sort of get by on those days where you don't really feel like doing much work, because you can just sort of sit in the background. And if you're sort of working at a computer, maybe you make a couple of little mistakes, you can correct those mistakes, and then you can just move on with the rest of your day. With trading, invariably what happens is it punishes you. When you try and trade through those periods where you just don't feel right. So, one of the most important things for me is, if I come to the desk and, not if I'm tired, you know, if I'm tired, everyone's tired in the morning, but if I come down to the desk and I'm just not feeling right in my head, if maybe I've had a bad night the previous night, maybe, you know, you've had an argument with a spouse or something, and you're just not feeling 100%, I just won't trade. I don't care how good the setup comes, because I know that it's likely I'm going to make mistakes. Maybe I won't. Maybe I'll be in the trade and I'll just look to hold it for too great a profit, because I'll start to get greedy. Maybe it will come back down and it'll stop me out, and I'll let that stop really sort of work at me, and I'll get really annoyed, and then I'll start to make mistakes further into the day as I try to make that money back. With trading, it's really one of the only, well, actually not one of the only things. There's plenty of things out there where you shouldn't really be trading when you shouldn't really be working when you're not feeling 100%. But trading is one of those ones where if you do try and force it, it's going to punish you. So just use it as an excuse. If you're too tired, if you just don't feel like it. Now, I don't mean you don't feel like it because you've had maybe a loss. and you're just sort of thinking to yourself, you know what, I just don't want to do this anymore. You can't do that, because then you're never going to make any progress. But if you are genuinely too tired to be trading, just don't trade. Just take the day off. Paper trade, demo trade, and start working on something else. Read a book, watch YouTube videos all day. Do whatever it is that you want, because although you're not taking trades, you are still benefiting yourself as a trader, because what you're doing is you're protecting your trading account, which is hugely important. It's much more important not to trade and to protect that trading account than it is to get into trades just because you think you have to trade and you start to do lots of damage to your trading account. Really, really important. One of the sort of real things that I try and push on to people who come to me and say they've had those periods of basically destruction through tiredness or through frustration. Happens there's a student who he's actually doing really well now. I think he's on his 6th or 7th month of consistent profitability, but he went through a period, because he works nights, of basically getting up and sort of, he couldn't really bother trading, but he sort of forced himself to get to the charts. And then he would make mistakes, and then he would get really frustrated. He would make this progress, and then he would give it all back. Then he would make this progress, and then he would give it all back. And it was the sort of same thing over and over again. Now he's at a stage where he's just, if he doesn't feel like it, he just doesn't trade. And it works so much better. Okay, so this trade, not really finding any support as yet, a little bit frustrating. We'll see how we get on though. I am still happy to be in it. We've got those nice confluences that I was looking for. Potentially it's just a false break up and we'll see the market moving down, but again, really that's all part of trading. I'm looking for a move back up toward this zone up above and this 7171 level at a minimum before I would really consider coming out of this trade. So we'll see how we get on. What I'm going to do is I'll pause the video, and then as it starts to move one way or the other, if it starts to break down toward the stop level, I'll turn it back on and we'll sort of talk through it. There's nothing really to talk through if it starts coming down to the stop level, because it'll just stop me out. I'm not going to change the trade at present because the setup is the setup. But if we start to break up and then we start to find resistance up at these levels, then that's when I have to start thinking, you know, am I expecting this to move higher? I'll start looking on the daily time frame. I'm looking for potential resistance levels, and then we'll see how we get on. So we are just starting to break down a little bit. What I'm going to do is just hold the video on for another few seconds in case we do start to make a strong bearish movement. But we're testing right at this sloping support. So, you know, it's kind of one of the reasons for being in the trade. So I'm hoping we're going to find more support here, and the buyers are going to force the market back up toward that zone up above, and we can get some nice early morning profits. Okay, so we are just sort of holding at these levels at present. What I'm going to do is I will pause the video, turn it back on if we start to move one way or the other. Okay, so we are right back down toward the stop level. We're basically testing at this 7146. We came within sort of 2.5 to 3 points of the stop. Just testing at this zone once again. Not really a lot that I'm looking to do. You know, I'm in the trade, and if you get into the trade, or if I get into the trade and it just moves against me, there's not really any decisions to make. You know, I'm not just going to bail out of the trade because my stop is my stop is my stop. When I got into the trade, I had my stop level and I had my analysis. So if the market just spikes me in and comes against me, then the trade, and it stops me out, and the trade is just looked at as sort of a wrong trade, or not a wrong trade, because it's all part of the trading plan. And the trading plan is, you know, it's designed to work over hundreds of trades, not individual trades. So the way I look at it is, if I get into the trade, I've already got my analysis, I've already got the reasons behind the trade. So if it then comes against me, it's just, in the grand scheme of things, it's sort of working through the probabilities, and that's just one of the losing trades. I'm only looking to start managing a trade, really, after it starts to make the move that I was looking for. So, you know, back up toward these areas, up here. If it doesn't, then I'm just in the trade until it comes down and takes me out, because it's just one of those trades. It's just probabilities, it's just one of the losing trades, and you have to get losing trades out of the way as part of your trading plan. It becomes one of those trades where you're paying your fees. You know, you're paying your rent if you owned a business, if you owned a shop. You're paying your rent, you're paying your rates, etc. It's just one of those setups. Okay, so we're still hovering here. What I'm going to do is I will pause the video again, until we start to move one way or the other, because also it is my little sister's birthday today. She is in Australia, so the morning is sort of one of the only crossover times where we can actually speak. It's her birthday, so I want to message her. So actually, happy birthday, sis, if you are watching this video. I hope you're having a good day, whatever you're doing over there. I'm sure it was a lot sunnier and a lot warmer than what we're getting in Scotland today. Okay guys, I'm going to pause the video. Okay, so we're just sitting right back down at that stop level. It is looking like this is going to take me out for a loss, and there we go. So first live trade, first trade of the week I should say. The live trade being posted is a loss this week, unfortunately. I'm still happy with the trade, still happy with the setup. Quite a lot of rejection on that candle, but it was still valid. I was more than happy to look at it as a buy position on the back of potentially breaking up above that sloping resistance level and then starting to look for the move back up again. Okay guys, so that is everything for this week. As always, I hope that was helpful. I hope you're all having a good trading week. I'm James Orr, and thank you.